When love turns into hate, remaining in a relationship can become suicidal. Li Hang was the first judge to close a domestic violence case and sign the civil protection order in Liaoning province since the new law was implemented. The judge thinks without outside assistance, whatever was written on the protection order can be useless.
The court cannot act as the bodyguard of victims after the civil protection order was issued. We need help from relevant bodies like the police and the community services to enforce the protection measures properly.
By law, the court is solely responsible for executing the civil protection measures, like prohibiting the abuser from approaching the victim and paying for the costs resulting from the abuse. One officer from the local Women's Federation explains why, in practice, the court is unable to fulfill these duties on its own.
If the order cannot reach the people around the victims, like doctors and nurses, the police, the relatives, then protection measures only stay on paper, because it's the people that protect the victims, not the order.
Her words were proven. The joint efforts have helped prevent further abuse of the victim. The first civil protection order in Liaoning province was implemented smoothly. Meanwhile, the role of the police officer in fighting domestic violence shouldn't be neglected, because most of the time when abuse happens, victims call the police first. Lu Zhenwei, an officer who has been dedicated to fighting domestic violence, said, "Prevention is better than punishment." For people like police officer Lu Zhenwei, who works on the front line against domestic violence, preventative measures together with psychological guidance are the tools to mend the broken relationships. The law is only enforced in the worst-case scenarios.
In a traditional Chinese proverb, we say, if the family lives in harmony, all affairs will prosper. So I always believe the principle against domestic violence is to resolve family conflicts. Protection orders should only be implemented when psychological mediations fail.
Just like other new laws rolled out in the past, building a successful law enforcement system requires significant investments of time, funding, and human resources. While the new law marks a crucial turning point in addressing domestic violence in China, there is a long journey ahead.